Good morning. I didn't walk yesterday, so I figured I better get up off my butt and then go for a walk this morning. I like to try to walk every single morning. I didn't yesterday, but so I definitely need to today. Who do we have? Rolling Stones this morning with the classic tongue out. Yesterday it was 103 degrees here in Woodland Hills, California. Today is not going to be quite as warm, but according to the weather forecast, there may be a little bit of humidity coming in. So I'm a little later on my walk than I normally am. It's almost 8 o'clock. Usually I'm home by 8 o'clock. So I'm going to have to be careful if it starts getting too hot. But let's see what we can see today. We're going to start off going up one of the bigger hills. I'll show you. See that hill in the distance? We're going to climb to the top of that today. You know, yesterday I was all gung-ho. I was going to go to my favorite nursery this morning. And you know, I woke up and I decided, I don't want to. I do want to, but it's quite a drive down there, and I got a little bit of a late start getting going this morning, so I decided to just kind of go for a walk and putter around the garden this morning. I did buy some new plants yesterday, though. I bought some seeds for, oh God, I'm not going to remember the name of them. I'm going to have to look it up. It's so funny that I forgot the name of it. Anyway, I surf tropical fruit seeds and plants all the time, and I ran across this one at Bellamy Trees called an Inga Columbia SP Guama, which means it's a little bit of a different species. And this Inga, which is basically an ice cream bean, was found at a high altitude in, I think it was Brazil, somewhere in South America. Found at a high altitude, so it is very cold hardy. I think I looked it up. It was at like 7,500 feet altitude, which is pretty high. So if it's cold hardy, that might do very well for me here in Woodland Hills, because you know, it gets kind of cold here. Not really below freezing, but it gets cold. So that'll be really fun. I got a plant on that. And then I bought some seeds of a Cydium grandiflora, which is it's a wild guava that was found. Sounded like it was a really good plant. So we're gonna grow that and see what we get. I love how this neighbor has grapevines up on this hill. The previous owners of this house had a little winery here. I don't think this owner does, but it's kind of cool. The grapevines on the other side of the property, unfortunately they took them out, but these are still going pretty good. This is the property next door. They have some grapevines too. These don't look quite as good up there, but still quite a few grapevines. There's quite a few growers, specifically up in the Santa Monica Mountains, who are trying to grow grapes for wine. I don't know what kind, but they found some grapes, and there's quite a few that have done a good job. Malibu Rocky Oaks is one of them. They've got quite a few acres of grapevines up in the Santa Monica Mountains. So it's a possibility to get some good wines out of this area. Whoo, baby, my calves are screaming. I didn't walk yesterday, and boy, they're a little tight. Heart rate got up to 143 at one point, so I'm working up a good little sweat here. If I went any later, though, it'd be too hot. Hey, up there's where somebody dumped that old mattress that we talked about a few weeks ago. Looks like somebody took it out. That's awfully nice of them. Whew, baby. See that mountain off in the distance with the towers on the top of it? I don't know what the name of the mountain is, but we just call it the top of Stunt Road. From there, you can continue looking in this direction and see the ocean. Ooh, beautiful morning. I've shown this view many times, but it's worth looking at. It's just gorgeous. I love where I live. There's the monstrosity. And that house right there is the new house being built at the end of the private lane that goes up beside my house. And that street right there, oh, hi neighbor. And that street right there is the street that we just walked down. Okay, this is so random. Just on a telephone pole in the middle of a neighborhood, somebody took the time to put up a little flyer with the front page of the New Yorker magazine. This is encased in plastic, so this is going to be here a long time. It is so bizarre that somebody would take the time to do that. I mean, I get the sentiment, and maybe they just knew that I was going to be walking this neighborhood and would film it and comment on it, and then the millions of people who follow me are going to comment on that, and it'll change their opinions of things. Yeah. That's something I've never seen before. Look at that. Little statue made out of branches. Somebody put together. That's kind of cool. I have walked by that yard numerous times, but you know, as Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you'll miss it. So I was watching this YouTube video this morning while I was drinking my coffee, and like most of the videos I watch, it has to do with tropical fruit. There's this guy in Melbourne, Australia, which has a very similar climate to us here in Woodland Hills. And that guy has got a Rollinia deliciosa planted in the ground. And he was commenting in this video, which was 5 days ago. You know, it's winter down there right now, or starting winter. He was commenting that they had got to -1.5 Celsius, which is below freezing. And he was showing his Rollinia, and it had done just fine. As a matter of fact, it had a fruit on it. Wow, that gives me hope. I have 3 Rollinia seedlings in pots. Yeah, I'm gonna baby those guys and eventually put one in the ground. Oh, I can't wait. The thing about pushing zone limits, agricultural zone limits, like growing stuff where they technically shouldn't be able to grow. You know, I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that everyone else talks about and says, hey, I know this guy named Dave out in Woodland Hills who's actually successfully growing a Rollinia tree and it has fruit on it. That would be something. Then everybody's going to be interested. And that's why I look on all these tropical seed websites where these guys sell tropical seeds, and I'm super interested in some of the rare seeds because I want to be that guy who has success growing something where it shouldn't. Oh God, that would be so great. To just kind of come to the realization though that doing that, I have to set myself up to accept some failure every now and then, because it could happen. And this guy down in Melbourne, he was actually talking about, in one of his videos from 2 days ago, he was talking about how he's going to put up frost cloth around some of his other trees, like a papaya and a jackfruit tree. Well, yeah, got a bug. What is that? That was weird. Some bug flew right down in front of my face. That's not very nice. Anyway, you know, I could certainly do the frost fabric, but that's not something that I want to have to do every year. I want to be able to succeed without the frost fabric. We'll have to see, huh? Here's a beautiful magnolia tree in full bloom. Big, beautiful flowers. All right, there's a couple more down here. Not as many flowers on that guy. Oh, here comes a big flower right here. Look at this one. The sun hasn't quite beat it up yet. Look at that. Oh, look at the pollinator. Little fly in there. I saw bees on the other one, but obviously flies do a little pollinating as well. Every species has its own way of pollinating. You know, like my cherimoya, there are no natural pollinators here in the United States for cherimoya. They will occasionally set fruit on their own, but if you want a fruit, you need to hand pollinate it, because in their native environment, they are pollinated by a beetle that does not exist here. I've talked about that before. You know, I've talked about a lot of things before, but you know, it's a stream of consciousness. It's Lazy Dave's ramblings, so I'm probably going to repeat myself every now and then, and you know what? That's okay. Yeah, last of the loquats off of a favorite neighborhood tree. I don't know, this one looks pretty beat up. I think I'm going to skip this for breakfast. Don't step on it, Dave. I miss my dog. I'm about finished with my walk. I've got one more little downhill and then the uphill to home. Hey, you know, I just want to say thank you for coming along with me. For the small handful of people who actually watch these videos, makes me want to do more. And because I do videos while I'm walking around and doing stuff, that benefits me because I get good exercise. My average is up over 4 miles a day when you look at it for a week, so that's pretty good. And I'm hoping that it will help keep me alive nice and long so that I can see all of my fruit trees become very mature and give me lots of fruit, and I can someday hand that down to my kids and grandkids. That's the ultimate goal. Well, everybody go out there and be good humans and enjoy the beautiful day. Hopefully it's beautiful wherever you are, and be good humans, okay?